what's up guys, Boogle here, and here it is. We got the Musashi in-depth guide. Let's head on into it. This is a fairly easy level. Of course, first of all, I'm gonna showcase the limited lineup for people who do not have the right gacha units. And this is for people who really, truly don't have like any of the good gacha units or any good Ubers. So just in case you are that person, here is the first lineup. Of course, in the second half of this video, I'll hop into the gacha lineup and all the gacha suggestions. So if you're looking for that, I'll put a timestamp in the description. But here we go. For this lineup, of course, we got our cat combo, the strong up combo, plus the defense up combo. It'll help a lot if your little flying is boosted, so you can do that. But if your little flying is like extremely boosted, you won't need the cat combo. But that extra defense up does help, so keep that in mind. And we're only using it here because my little flying level is pretty low. So this is an optional choice. You could bring a different cat combo if you want, like research up or the Monaco attack up combo. Really experiment around and find the combo that works right for your lineup. For me, I'm using the strong up plus defense up because my little flying is pretty low level. Now as stallers go, you really only need one staller, that is being Manic Eraser, but if you want to bring a second one, go ahead if you want that extra security against all the peon waves. But the main thing we got going on here is Manic Macho Legs for the nice chip damage. When we are fighting against the peons, the waves will be able to hit Musashi, and of course we got little flying. If you do not have little flying, you can use Manic Flying. Now as for cat cannon goes, I do highly recommend using Holy Blast. Ours is level 2, but it is still effective when fighting against the peons if they borrow. So make sure you do have Holy Blast. Higher level does help greatly. And here we go. If you are using this lineup, it is going to take a little while, so bringing a speed up is kind of recommended for this if you're using this lineup, but the other lineup is a super quick way. So all you gotta do in the beginning here is, of course, stall Musashi. He does spawn a little bit after, so as soon as Musashi does come out, that's when you can really start tracking the enemy cycles. So the first one is, of course, about 1 minute into the stage, so 30 seconds after Musashi comes out, there will be a zombie Gory, so make sure you are prepared for that. And a minute after that, the zombie Zeal will appear, so get ready for that. And also a minute after that, it will be the zombie kangaroo phase. So that is the whole first wave of peons, so make sure you do have your Holy Blast saved for a detrimental time. So for the first zombie Gory wave, you don't really need to use your Holy Blast. Little flying should be able to sweep up very easily. But for the Zeal and kangaroo phase, make sure you do have your Holy Blast ready, so keep that in mind. And a big thing for these peon phases is a Bahamut. A Bahamut is pretty much the main carry in the peon phases, so make sure you have your A Bahamut timed perfectly in each cycle, so when the zombie kangaroo phase happens, you have A Bahamut ready. So do not take way too long to kill the zombie Zeal phase, otherwise your A Bahamut will not be charged up in time for the zombie kangaroo phase. Now if you happen to mess up your phases with A Bahamut and you got your timing off track and you kind of messed up or took too long, that is where King Dragon, Manic King Dragon, Macho Legs, and Manic Macho Legs will help out taking out the peon waves. Now it won't help out as much for the second phase of enemies, and I'll talk about that when that does happen. But during this first phase of the peon waves here, the stack of dragons and legs does take it out effectively, so you don't have to use a Bahamut for the first wave of peons. Now all while doing this, make sure you are sending out the occasional little flying to clear up the smaller peons and help out there. And also make sure you have your Manic Macho Leg cycles perfectly as well. It doesn't have to be up all the time, but it's nice to have Manic Macho Legs up when you're in a situation like this where the zombie kangaroo is in front of Musashi. You can send out Manic Macho Legs, get some waves, and get some very nice chip damage. So make sure you do have that. Now the second wave of peons starts about 4 minutes into the fight, and between each phase of peons there is a 2-minute gap. So the first wave of enemies is 2 zombie gories, which is at 4 minutes, around 4 minutes into the battle. So if you were keeping track, make sure you are ready for that. Then 2 minutes after the zombie gory phase, it is of course the double zombie seals. And 2 minutes after that, it is going to be the double zombie kangaroos. So this is where you want to save your Bahamut and have it ready for each cycle, because using only one anti-zombie like this, little flying, it won't be enough to handle double waves of those peons. So Bahamut is really a huge help. Now the zombie gory phase is different because little flying can outrange it perfectly. It can handle it very well. But for the zombie seal phase and zombie kangaroo phase, you're gonna have to have Bahamut, or else you're just gonna get overrun. And if you're using one staller, it is going to be very tough as well. So the main things you gotta look out for is, obviously Musashi is really not that big of a threat. You can bully him very easily, as you can see, and just make sure you don't knock him back too far all the time, or else he'll activate the base wave, the enemy base wave, and that does like around 25k damage. So if there's a zombie peon phase and you activate that wave, if you don't have your tankier units out, good luck trying to fight that zombie peon wave with all your units wiped out. So that is the one thing you gotta look out for, is the enemy base wave. So make sure you lure Musashi accordingly and do not push him too far back all the time, so you activate that wave all the time. The second thing you gotta look out for is of course the peons. That is truly the hard part of the stage, the hard part in quotation marks there, because all you have to do is, like I said previously, make sure you get your Bahamut cycles correct, and all the peon waves will become massive jokes, and this whole level does become a very massive joke. It is only difficult if you're using this lineup and you don't manage to get your Bahamut cycles correct. But if you can do that and time your Bahamut cycles correctly, you will really have no issue in this level at all, even with this lineup. And make sure you do cycle Bahamut on the first life for the peons, because that is when they have the most health, and that is the most effective way to set up your cycles. So on the first life of each zombie peon for the double seals, as example, in this run, we used Bahamut first to initially kill both the seals, and once they come back with reduced health, that is when it's very easy for double dragons and double legs to clean it up and move on and get ready for the next peon wave. So make sure you don't wait way too long and try to kill the zombie peons with your double dragons and double legs first. Make sure you kill them with Bahamut first, and when they revive, that's when you can clean up with the double dragons and double legs. So after the second wave of the zombie kangaroos, that's when it stops, and that's when you're pretty much safe to just beat the level. It's just going to be back and forth luring Musashi and bullying him to his base, and just repeating that process over and over again till you eventually kill Musashi and take out the base. So if you're on this peon wave, it is perfectly fine to go all out and try to take out this peon wave as quick as possible, because after this it is very safe, and all that happens is the very small peons that occasionally come out, and you're just going to be bullying Musashi for the remainder of the time after this peon wave. This is the annoying part of the level, where you're just going to have to go back and forth like I said previously. It is going to take a while, so make sure you get as much chip damage as you possibly can, because constantly knocking him back, getting your units all wiped out, and repeating the process over and over again, that is what makes this part so lengthy and annoying. So make sure you do regularly use Holy Blast and all other ways to get some nice damage, so this can go by a lot quicker. But that about does it for the first lineup. Let's hop into the gacha suggestions and the gacha lineup. Look, I'm not going to waste my time or your time here. This level with gacha units is a extremely massive joke. So If you have Octo, if you have Fishman, if you have the anti-zombie staller Sifu cat, this level does become hilariously easy. Probably one of the easiest legend acquirable stages in the game. So yeah, keep that in mind. So here are the main gacha units you want to have for this. Camera, of course, that survival lethal strike is very powerful, and it also can clean up the peon wave very easily. And Seafarer, also another nice survival lethal strike unit. If you activate that wave, Camera and Seafarer can survive and handle the peon waves with ease. All you want to do is put your rushers in a lineup with Octo. If you don't have Octo, then you're just gonna have to lure and repeat the process over and over again. Basically, push extremely hard and make sure you are constantly cycling Octo for that wave block, because you're going to be pushing hard all the time. You don't want your units to all get wiped out. That's why Camera and Seafarer are kind of crucial, just in case you do miss an Octo cycle. They will survive a lethal strike and you'll be ready. So after you deal with all the peon waves and you're just in this back and forth battle, eventually you're going to be pushing Musashi so hard towards his base that he will get stuck in a constant knockback animation, and this is where things get stupidly easy and you can just continuously knock him back over and over again, stacking Octo Cats, and he is dead. That's pretty much it. Just make sure you bring rusher units like Fishman, Maglev, and other stuff, and make sure you have units for the peon waves like Camera, Sifu Cat, Seafarer, any other anti-zombie or anti-zombie nukers you have, bring those. And if you don't have any great Ubers, then you can just use housewife and such. Avoid using units like Ecto Weight. You don't want to knock the zombie peons too far back into Musashi's range, so do use stuff like Weedwacker or housewife. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. That's all for this guide. Drop a like if this guide helped you out. Subscribe if you're new. Join the #Boogle gang. There's going to be a limited Discord invite in the description below. That's it, guys. It's been John Boogle, and see ya.